Asking some burning questions.
Hello. Ooh. We need the Zane and Alisha tea. You think he's cute? Say yes or no.
Remi, being in a relationship, how do you deal with people flirting with you?
Like, thank you, but I'm engaged.
I'm engaged, but you can buy her a drink.
I don't think being pregnant sounds fun either.
I can't wait to be like, babe, go get me pickles.
Yeah, you're gonna have the craziest food combos.
School Alicia.
The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Pretty basic.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Pretty Basic. I'm your co-host, Remi Cruz.
And I'm your other co-host, Alisha Marie, and we are in the studio.
We're in the studio. I'm wrapped up and I'm nice and warm and comfy.
Well, I saw you looking all comfy and I decided I'm going to put my feet up. And yes,
Yeah, kick them up.
I'm wearing shoes. They're on the chair.
I mean, it's your chair, so you can do whatever you want to your chair.
Exactly. And
No judgment. It's a no judgment zone.
it just sucks to put so much effort into an out. Not even so much. I just threw this together. It's just like, you know, I want to be comfy.
It completes
but
the look.
It really does.
I understand.
It is like Khloe Kardashian would literally be like gagging if she saw this.
Yeah. I mean, it's your chair though, so you can do what you want.
Yeah.
Sorry for TMI, but I'm on my period today.
Wait, I'm on my
I know
period.
we're cycle sisters, but I'm like, my cramps are hurting so badly and I hate it, but it's also having a regular period is something that I've wanted for my whole life.
And here
so
you
it's
are.
such a beautiful thing and also such a sad thing also.
No, I'm so curious if we have any other cycle sissies.
Let us know. Are we all in our luteal phase? No, just kidding. I'm still trying to learn all the phases. I think it's really cool that everyone's being so open and talking about those things now. And, you know, it used to be like something hush hush and a little taboo to speak about. And now I'm like, I'm menstruating.
Well, I feel like, again,
No baby this month.
it's a men problem. They don't want to hear about it. So they made it like weird to talk about.
Yeah, we all go through it. It's normal. It's life.
Me
and
just constantly dragging men for no reason.
For reason.
Dare I
That one
say.
is understandable. I think it's fine to talk about. I won't go into the dirty details, but
You know what else
I'm
isn't talked
crampy and
about?
tired.
Egg freezing.
Oh,
Another thing.
You think people don't talk about it? I just
I
feel
feel
like
like
a lot
now-
more people are doing it now,
I feel
which
like
is amazing.
now they are, but I feel like that's another thing. I've had a lot of friends in my life talking about it. Like, should they do it? Debating it. Obviously, turning 30, like that's a new era to think of.
Oh my God. Speaking of turning 30, today is my half birthday,
Oh my God,
which
you're
means I have
right.
exactly, what is that? 130.
Wow.
No, definitely more than that. 180 something days until I am
Your
30.
half birthday.
I'm spacing out right now. I'm sorry. My half birthday. I'm a half birthday celebrator. Are you?
I'm not. I think my half birthday is in October 5th.
October 5th?
Yeah.
Good to know. Growing up, I was I am a half birthday celebrator. I'd get half a cake. I'd get presents.
Really?
Yeah, my family would go all out on half birthdays. My mom would bring me lunch to school.
Wait,
on my half birthday.
the fact that
Oh, actually, no. That wouldn't, no, because it was summer. She'd bring me lunch wherever I was.
I just can't think of how many years we've been friends. And now I'm realizing that every August 7th, you've been waiting for me to like do something.
Actually, my mom's going to correct me. No. I don't expect it. But I was in school because I was on a year-round schedule. So she did bring me lunch. I did remember correctly. I love a half birthday. But more than that, I'm just like, wow, it's 6 months until I'm done with my 20s.
That's
And I'm
crazy.
feeling like a little emo about it. It's funny also because up until this day, truly, I've been like, oh, I'm like not even 29 and a half yet. I'm not 29 and a half. I don't even need to think about it. Now I'm like, oh, I'm 29 and a half. Now I have to think about it. 6 more months. The clock is ticking.
I mean, technically you don't have to.
I don't have to, but I want to.
But honestly, again, and I know I say this a lot, like 30s are amazing.
I know. And I'm like, it's not that I'm not excited to be 30. I think that I am very excited, but at the same time, I'm like sad that my 20s will be behind me and I will never be in that chapter again.
But here's the thing, you're going to look back and be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not in my 20s anymore.
Really? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, because it's just like the confidence that comes. Oh my God, you want to know the best analogy I can think of? Literally when you turn 30, it's like all this emo-ness because you're like, I'm not going to be in my 20s anymore. Like, oh, it's so sad. Like this part of me's gone, blah, 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 blah. But then you like, it happens and you realize it's not bad. If not, it's better. Do you remember that? One of my favorite movies is The Proposal for anyone listening. Obsessed. Sandra Bullock, loved her since Miss Congeniality. You still have yet to see it, right?
Miss Congeniality. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Adding it to the list.
I know we have an ongoing list of movies that I need to see that I haven't seen.
Or me.
Yet.
Those ones that we're both like, you haven't seen this.
Yes.
Which I also just found out recently that Remi hasn't seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
I feel like that one's not that crazy. I feel like a lot of people haven't seen that one.
Well, they're not crazy to you because you haven't seen them.
Like, I know they were popular, but I feel like not. Like, has anybody here seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, everyone's seen it.
Right.
I thought it was like super normal to not see it.
No. No. Anyway, movies, Miss Congeniality, Sandra Bullock, obsessed. Ryan Reynolds, we know I love him. Obsessed with him. The movie The Proposal. You know, at the end, this is not really a spoiler, but like it is, but it's fine. It's an old movie.
It's 10 years old. They're fine.
Like if it's past 10 years, no spoiler.
If it's past
needed.
like 4 years, I think it's okay.
So the Betty White, R.I.P.
Rest in peace. Betty.
She's the grandma in it, and then like at one point there's like the health scare, and they're in the helicopter trying to like save her and bring her to the hospital, and she's like, this must be my end. Like goodbye, I love you all, and like crosses her arms and lays down. That is you leaving your 20s. You're like, oh, this is how it's gonna be when I turn 30, and then instantly she goes down. She goes, well, I guess I'm fine. Like that is the epitome of turning 30 because you're like, it's this big lead up. You're like, oh, I'm going to be old. I'm going to be withered. I'm going to be like, I can't go on anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, oh, okay, the end of my life. Here it is. And then you close your eyes for 2 seconds and then you wake up and realize, oh,
it's just
fine.
another day.
It's just another day.
That's so true. And it is, I mean, it's society that puts the pressures on us that like, in your 30s, like you need to do all these things in your 20s, 30s is old, blah, blah, blah. Like it's really just another day. And I'm aware of that. It's like when you turn on your birthday, people are like, do you feel older? You're like, no, it's another day. So I know it's going to be like that. I think I'm just nostalgic for my 20s.
But you've
I
lived
felt like
it
I was going to be in my
up.
20s my whole life. You know what I mean? Like that's what I felt like. It was such a long time. I don't even remember being like 19 and younger as much as I remember all of my 20s. I don't know why.
I mean, it was a while ago. But
I also have PCOS and a bad memory, but
literally bad memory over here.
oh, speaking of PCOS, I got my MRI done finally.
Wait, oh my God.
I'll make it like a really quick little snippet.
You like mentioned it to me in person, but
Yes.
you honestly we didn't talk much about it.
There wasn't much to say other than thank you so much to everybody. I talked openly about how I have a cyst in my brain because I have PCOS. So I've been looking to get an MRI done. I had a bad experience a few months ago. And so I was trying to get one done, but I have claustrophobia. And a lot of PB listeners told me to get an open MRI. The PB listeners are so nice and supportive. I just have to say, you guys are so nice. So
They're
thank
so
you.
nice, so sweet,
So
gorgeous,
cute. Gorgeous. Smart, knowledgeable.
Women in STEM.
They knew about an open MRI, so they told me to get an open MRI, which it's like the MRI machines are obviously enclosed. So for those of you who have claustrophobia, it's your worst nightmare. And so I got an open MRI recently. I waited. It was like a really long time to get the appointment and everything. Here's the heads up. If you are like me and you're scared to get an MRI, and you have something in your brain, you're out of luck. Let me just say, because my cyst is in my brain, even in the open MRI, they had to put my head in the cage still.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I should have thought that. So
I'm sure it was still better though,
no,
right?
it was exactly the same.
Oh,
It was because I closed my eyes regardless. So
you're like, all I saw was black.
it was all the same.
You closed your eyes.
Oh my God. It was the exact same experience, honestly, but because you're still like inside a tube. It's just the tube is a little skinnier, then it's a little bit less wide.
Like
That's
your
the
body
situation. You're still in a machine. I mean, thank you so much for the suggestions. And if anybody's looking to get an MRI and you're claustrophobic and your ailment is not in your brain, I highly recommend it. And the guy was so nice. He was so worth every penny because he was so sweet to me.
Aww.
And I was like freaking out. He could tell he was so nice, but I got it and I'm done. So that's fantastic.
Yay.
Any
When
updates
do you get results?
I don't know. I'm like scared to find out, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what do I have to get it
Well, as long as it
again?
hasn't changed, because I remember they weren't too worried about it before.
I know. We'll see. I'm hoping.
Optimistic, Rem.
Okay, but enough about me. How have you been?
Honestly, I've been, knock on wood,
Knock on wood. Knock it. Mm-hmm.
I've been great.
Good.
Like I feel I have a really good, again, knock on wood. Universe, please don't change it. I've been great. And I'm happy with how everything is. You know, could everything be better a little bit? Yes. But at the same time, I feel really good balance wise. I feel like work's been good. I feel like I've had a good social life.
Good.
You know, energy's been better than it was for sure. Yeah.
Good. I think it's so important to appreciate, even if like nothing crazy good is going on, nothing crazy bad is going on. So appreciate that.
And that's what your 30s are. Instead of being like,
I forgot we're talking about that. You're so right.
instead of being like, oh my God, how could something horrible happen? You're like, oh my God, everything's good. Like you appreciate it more because you've been through some stuff.
You've seen some things.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm not necessarily freaking out. I'm really, really not. I'm just like, the countdown is on. It's happening. Half birthday.
I'm so curious what everyone else's half birthdays is. That's the comment of the day.
Comment down below. When's your half birthday?
Wait, so
if you don't know, it's exactly 6 months from your real birthday.
What is October 5th in the zodiac world?
That would be, I believe, a Virgo or a Libra. I'm not sure when the...
Wait, if that's a Libra, that'd be crazy because my moon and my rising are both Libra.
Libra.
Wait, so like, is that a coincidence?
Oh, it's just a coincidence. It's
is?
not for everybody. Yeah.
Wait, I'm like, is that a coincidence?
It's just a coincidence.
Wait.
It's just chance.
Balance. And I mentioned balance just now. Is that a thing?
No, but mine's August 7th, which that's a Leo, and I'm a Leo rising. I think it's just a coincidental thing, but that is weird. But also, both of ours are.
One, two, not a coincidence.
If I had a nickel, we're so soulmates.
You know what else is new? I intentionally ghosted my therapist. I didn't mean to. I just got really busy. And then she texted me and I forgot to reply. And then she texted me again. She was like, hey, like, no worries. But like, these are the last few days because I'm going to be gone for a month. So she's gone for a month.
Oh no.
So now I haven't seen her for like 2 months.
Did you make an appointment?
Well, she's not back till like next month, I think.
You know what? Make your appointment now for when she gets back. Get back on a weekly schedule.
You're so right.
And that is self-care if I've ever heard anything.
No, I know.
Self-care.
It's just funny because I feel like I always online, I'm like, everyone needs to be in therapy and like make sure to be in it. Like, da-da-da. And here I am being like, oh, I ghosted her.
Life gets crazy though. I feel that too. Like I really want to prioritize it. And then sometimes my schedule doesn't allow.
Yeah.
But it's something that we should definitely prioritize. You know what another form of self-care is that I always say? When you're going out for the night, before you leave, leaving a water bottle by your bedside and or having your snacks ready and or getting something, we've said, ordering something to go to your house as you're going home from the bar or ordering it before you go out so it's home when you get home from the bar.
It's just preparation, you know?
It's being prepared. It's being ahead. I agree.
Being organized. And my favorite thing ever, especially if I'm out. Even, we went to Disneyland not too long ago, but my shower when I came back, it was the best.
I was looking forward to that all day.
I was so nasty. I was so sweaty. I was so gross. I feel like I hugged so many people. I feel like there was just like a lot. And
it was like 90 degrees also.
And it was burning. And I was just, the second I barely said hi to Ashley. I go, hi, I'm going to go take a shower. Like I literally like in one breath was like, I'm going upstairs to take a shower. I took the longest shower. I did an everything shower.
Ooh, I love everything.
You know, for who? Myself.
Good.
I did it for myself.
As you should.
It wasn't for anyone. It was for me. Like I wanted to feel good. I wanted to take my time. Also, it's a good time to like decompress and like you think, do you ever have like shower thoughts?
The way that I only have my best thoughts in the shower, personally for me, I always think of really good comebacks to either jokes I should have said on this podcast or conversations, or if I'm like in an argument, I'm like, I should have said this instead.
Okay, you want to know some science behind it? I saw this on TikTok, so obviously it's so real. It's something about the water hitting your head. It like stimulates like
the brain
or something like that.
Interesting.
Or you also know how when you go on a walk or you're driving, you get your best thoughts. It's because you're doing something else while you're thinking versus just sitting on a couch like this we do every week.
Really?
Yeah, it's like it helps you think it through
Next
better.
episode we're just on walking pads.
Oh my God, we should have walking pads.
That's a really great, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, so and then I just remember seeing something about the water hitting your scalp helps stimulate something, blood flow, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm probably wrong. But it made sense to me. And then it made me wonder, so if I go walk in the rain, am I going to have amazing ideas?
That is you should try next time.
Yeah.
And let me know.
But something that has been working for me, which I am obsessed with.
Tell us more.
If you're watching the video, you may notice we have two beautiful, stunning.
The Dove
serum shower collection, you guys.
This is the hydration boost and it's fantastic. It's got like a creamy, really nice moisturizing lather, which is so fantastic. The Dove Hydration Boost is formulated with 6% hydrating serum with hyaluronic acid. And this is amazing because it takes your skin from dry to dewy for 24 hours of silky softness.
That's what I'm saying, Remi.
Like my skin is so dry, like the dryness forms almost like a web.
Yes.
When you use this though, it goes away, I promise. Overall, the collection is absolutely amazing. I feel like there's something for absolutely everyone. And it's also really cool because it's co-created with dermatologists and beauty experts.
Another thing that I love about it is that it's paraben and sulfate free. And it's also plant-based, and Dove is the #1 dermatologist recommended body wash brand.
I was doing some research on the hydration boost and 4 in 5 women say that it actually restores dehydrated skin within a week.
We love this. So if you haven't already tried it out, go try out Dove's new serum shower collection. There's seriously something for everyone. And we absolutely love it. Speaking of hydration, I was going to say, we should get some burning questions.
Hello. Ooh, some hot questions. We need to cool them down.
All right. I am really excited because I put it on the Pretty Basic Instagram that you guys should ask us some of your burning questions. We have not done an episode like this in a minute.
I know. I'm a little nervous.
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, you know, we
give
need
them
to,
what they want.
We need to give the girlies what they want.
I mean, what's the juicy level, would you say?
Oh, this is like a mild.
Okay, we're just going
We're
mild.
going mild.
Okay.
You know, these aren't necessarily like burning questions we've avoided. Actually,
some of them.
maybe.
I'm excited though. I love a Q&A personally. I feel like Q&As always are just like so fun because people get to know us a little bit more.
Also, it's weird because like in my head, I still am like, oh, is this interesting? Do people want to know this? But seeing someone else ask about it, I'm like, oh, like they actually do want to know.
Also, if you ask me the same question today versus 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, like my thoughts might have changed.
Yeah, 1,000%.
If anybody cares about what my thoughts are.
All right, the first one. We'll have these anonymous because most of the people ask for it to be anonymous. But
oh, okay.
3 years into a relationship, how do you avoid the boring normalcy of being with someone so long?
I personally don't feel bored with Cal. Like I get so excited for a car drive together still, or like something, even when we go on vacation, I'm like, I get so excited to go on a vacation, even if we like are going somewhere close, or even if we're like doing something monotonous or mundane. Like I get so excited just to be with him. So I just want to put that out there. I'm not saying that like, if you don't feel that you're not in the right relationship, but that's just something that I personally feel with him, which makes me feel like I'm with the right person a lot of the times. But obviously life can get boring. Living with someone like can get monotonous and can get very normal. So I would say if you ever feel that way, I think keeping things like fun, like you should always be dating your partner, no matter how long you've been together. Going on dates is very important. Having alone time is very important. Having private time, all those sorts of things are very important. So I think if you feel like you've lost the spark, I think it's different than feeling a little bit bored of monotony. Like those are two very different things to me. Do you know what I mean? I feel like people might mistake one for the other too.
I never realized that until now, because I do, like, obviously the fairy tale honeymoon stage dies down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's very normal. Some people's last a lot longer than others. Some people's don't. But in the end, it's going to go down eventually, you know? But yeah, the difference between like the spark, or I guess also, it does say a lot.
It's just very situational. Also, like Cal and I would say had a really long honeymoon stage. And then there was definitely a time where we were out of it, but I feel like it got re-brought up again during this like engagement wedding planning time.
Yeah.
So I think it just goes in ebbs and flows. So yeah, there are definitely times where we're both also so busy. We don't even have time to see each other. Like then it starts to get boring in that sense where I feel like I'm just going to bed and I'm like, we didn't even see each other for the day. It just goes in ebbs and flows. But I think like your gut always knows if it's right or not.
Also, I do like how you said it doesn't mean you're necessarily in the wrong relationship, because I do think it is normal to like get out of that honeymoon stage and you're like, oh. Also, I mean, I'm assuming you also might mean sexually. I heard this on the Skinny Confidential. Obsessed. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm like, oh my God. Yes. It was saying like if you and your partner want to try some more like crazy things in the bedroom, to just simply turn the lights red, and it gives you like permission. It makes it feel like you can.
To go to
like try crazier like positions, or like any like fun like stuff that you're like
wait. They turn their lights red and then they know that they're gonna do things, or
no, it's just like something about the human brain makes it feel like, oh, I can. It makes it feel like they can try different things because of the red lighting.
Okay.
And I'm like, I so see that.
I know people that turn it on red, and that means that they're like, I want to have sex. Do you want to have sex? Like,
Okay.
like a notification of that way.
That's
Okay.
like, let my assistant text you.
Alexa, turn lights red at home.
You're looking at them dead in the eye. Okay, Google, turn lights
red.
No, but it was like, I think it was a doctor or something that
I believe that.
Michael and Lauren had on, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like so many couples want to try things, but they don't want to be the one to be
like acne face mask, red light thing on.
I'm like, oh, I love that. I love that.
That's cool. Yeah.
I think that's a fun little tip.
I think like whether we're talking about sex or not, just you should continue to date your partner always.
I feel like you're really good with that. You'll be like, oh, like we have date night tonight. And even though you quote can reschedule, it's important to prioritize it.
So now I really try my best, and it's been really great for our relationship.
I love that.
Thank you so much. And I love your red lights, and I'll let you know how that goes.
Red light therapy.
Summer is finally here, and I have a lot of friends who have birthdays during the summer. I'm taking a girls' trip to San Diego with a few of my friends, and I already have a checklist of what I need. We also need something to keep us entertained for the 2-hour drive from LA to San Diego. If you guys know me, I like to plan and pack in advance, but we all know Remi does that even more. I'm pretty sure Sue's ingrained that in her. But I personally can say, as an adult, I appreciate it so much more because I used to never be ahead with packing. Speaking of packing, a few things that I have in my bag are sunscreen, emotional support water bottle, and a steamy beach read. It's been a long time since I've just sat and read a physical book. I feel like lately I've been loving an audiobook. And this year, there's a new kind of essential that's right at your fingertips. If you have never heard of Dipsea, Dipsea is an app full of hundreds of short, spicy audio stories. They're a woman-led team of writers, producers, and engineers who are obsessed with making the very best audio romance. On the app, you can discover stories about second chance romances, adventurous vacation flings, and hot and heavy hookups. They bring scenarios to life with immersive soundscapes and realistic characters. There's also a category on Dipsea if you want to hear a narration, let's say in a British accent. If you love a good British accent, they have that. Dipsea offers a modern approach to romance through high quality and captivating audio fiction. There's a growing library of fantasy series with werewolves, Greek gods and goddesses, Regency era historical fiction, and fairy smut to explore the bounds of your pleasure. New content is released every week, so in between listening to your favorite stories again and again, you can always find something new to explore. On the app, I love how easy it is to find a story. It also breaks it down to so many different categories like top audiobooks to top characters and many more. I know you'll find a story you'll be obsessed with. For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/prettybasic. That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to DIPSEA stories.com/prettybasic. dipseastories.com/prettybasic.
Anonymous advice for the Duff of the friend group. I'm 20 and would appreciate your help.
Do you remember the Duff movie?
I remember the Duff movie. Duff stands for,
quote, designated ugly fat friend.
oh my God, I always felt like the Duff growing up for sure.
Hate how like it's a thing.
I first of all agree
Sorry,
with that.
I don't think it's a thing because I didn't realize it was a thing until that movie came out, and I was like,
Yeah, that's why the movie was so problematic.
I know, because I was like, one, I don't agree with this. Two,
Also, she wasn't even fat. Like, that was also fucked.
yeah, I feel like, yeah. Some movies I'm like, ooh.
I was always the girl growing up where guys would be like, your friend's really hot. Like, you know, talking to you through your friends or, you know, being nice to you because they think your friends are cute, like because they want to get with your friend. So I've always felt that. But if your friends are like making you feel, again, I don't think Duff is like a thing. Like if your friends are saying that you are or like making you feel that way, that's an issue. But if you just, because I never had my friends be like, oh, you're
which
the
one
ugly
is
fat
it?
friend. Exactly. You're like, no friends are ever making me feel that way or like verbally like saying that. It was always just like a thing that I couldn't ignore.
I'm thinking like my first instinct is like get new friends, but also I'm aware that like if the friends aren't putting that on you, maybe you have internalized that yourself as like giving yourself that label.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
I think that is a separate problem. I do think if, like you were saying, if the friends are making you feel like that's your role, get new friends, bye.
That's exactly it.
But also I think a lot of times it's like, oh, well, I'm not like them, so I'm this. And it's like, that's a toxic mentality to have with yourself anyway. So I'm like, I don't even like that you called yourself that because you're beautiful and stunning.
I agree with that. That's exactly how I felt. I was always like internalizing. It came from just my own lack of confidence and like, I'm sorry, how am I not supposed to feel insecure about that when every guy is like, oh, your friend's so hot. Like, oh, can I talk to your friend? Da, 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 da. Like it just
time and time again.
Unfortunately. Exactly. Like what else am I supposed to think if that's happening to me and no guy ever wanted to talk to me?
I hate saying this. I know it's so freaking cliche, but I feel like as you get older, you learn that everyone has insecurities, and even someone who you think is like the coolest, hottest girl who like all the guys must love, like I feel like those friends who I used to look at in my life, like as I got older, I realized like, oh, they had a lot of shit at home, and they would have like to them, they didn't care about that because like they had other issues that were like weighing on them and like traumatic experiences that they had gone through. And it's like, it's just, perspective is weird because like people from the outside can look like they have their life all together and they're perfect. And you're like, oh, I wish I had their life. And then, you know, you never know what someone's going through. So I think like the comparison, just like, I know it's hard, but try your hardest to just not even let your brain go there first.
Agreed. Also, you are beautiful as you are right now. Also, I feel like 20, you're still so young. There's still so much time to blossom and grow into yourself and learn about yourself and learn that every part of you is beautiful as it is. When I was 20, I was also so insecure and I was still going through all these things too. So, and I'm sitting here at 29 and a half and I feel so much more secure in myself. Like in the past few years, I feel like I really started to understand like who I am. And in the past like couple years, if not like year or so, I really came to terms with also that my body is just, this is my body. Like I tried to fight it for so long. Like this is my, what am I trying to say? Like just the general structure. Yeah. There's no changing that. Exactly. Like my build.
Your genetics.
Like that's just who I am. And like, it wasn't until like I turned 27, 28 that I finally came to terms with that. So like, it's your life is a long time of just coming to terms with like, you get what you get. Yeah. And you start to understand that it's okay.
Accept it. Exactly. And I mean, I think now and we can look back when we were 20 and so insecure and it's like, oh, shit, poor girl. Like we can like look back and like smile, even though it was so hard at the time, because we can look back and just be like, oh, like she didn't know, but she'll learn. And like, it does, like, I hate saying it gets better, but it totally does. And you know what? On a funny note, the glow ups just keep going.
It's true. You like, there's so much room for improvement.
And that's what I tell myself.
That's what I was always telling myself. Also, like when I was 20, little did I know, and I felt, and I still was that girl that only had friends, or like all the guys would like go through me to get to my friends. Little did I know 5 years from that I would meet the love of my life who treats me like a princess. And like everyone has their person out there. So just no, it's coming.
Ooh, most attractive feature about a man.
Ooh, superficially or
just physical.
Oh,
or I guess we could do both. Well, it's feature. I feel like that's physical. You know what I love? I love some forearms.
I was going to say forearms are really very, hot. Very sexy.
Arms in general, but like forearms are good.
I really look at eyes also.
Oh, eyes I look at first for sure. When guys have like crazy eyes.
Like beady brown eyes like this, like Connor on Love Island. Like that really freaks me out.
Yeah, like I like when eyes looks like sweet and inviting.
Agreed.
Like I don't like when they're too like, I'm a man. I don't know how to explain it.
No matter what color, but just like a soft, inviting eye, like hopefully a nice person.
Also a little crooked smile, like a little smirk. Oh, I think that's really cute.
I love a crooked smile. Yeah, I think if they're just like,
then there's the obvious. I'm like, oh, the V, and then like the abs, and then like the back.
I just think of Cal, which is so annoying, but I'm like, sorry.
You're trying
to be respectful, of course. Just like, honestly, just a nice guy, personally. I just like, nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, personality's first, but if we're talking about superficial, I'm like,
she gave the body with the swimmer's body.
When was the closest you guys have gotten to ending this podcast?
Oh, tea.
That's actually really good.
I think it was a time where I was really overwhelmed with everything, and I was like, I had a lot of my personal life, a lot of like work stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I like can continue doing it at this level. Yeah. That's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
That was like years ago though.
I was going to say, but that's the only time I feel like us even saying like, oh, one day I guess it will end and like thinking of
it's not like we were like, we're ending the podcast. No. I was just like, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. And like, I don't know. I can't keep it up with everything on my plate right now at this pace. Yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like a fight or anything either. No, even that I feel like doesn't really count. But I guess that would be the closest. I think that was the first time where I was like, there's going to be a day we end. I know. Like, I was like, oh no. I know. Like it was like a realistic thing to think about. But it wasn't like we were like, we're going to end it. It was just like, oh my God, one day it will end. And like, what is that rollout going to be when we're ready? And I think that conversation definitely held us up to have more conversations about like, well, if we want this to
one, end on a good note, and
and end on a high.
And end it on a high. Like, let's make sure we have good communication with each other, just because like we don't want resentment. We don't want one of us feeling like, anyone's pulling more of the weight than other. And like, I feel like truly that was such a pivotal moment, because like we've never had anything since then.
Yeah.
Which that wasn't even a thing, but it was a good like, okay, let's be realistic. The things about being a business partner and a best friend with the podcast.
It's true. And like, it's not like, again, we were like, oh, we're going to end it tomorrow. It's just like, oh my God, like I feel this way right now. And eventually it is going to end. So how are we going to do that when we're ready?
And how do we not have like a Call Her Daddy big blow up situation? You know what I mean?
Which we never would. But
no. We're not. I feel like no.
Too much love there to have that, I think, too.
Remi, being in a relationship, how do you deal with people flirting with you /or attraction? This is great, because I feel like so many people act like, oh, I don't find anyone attractive now that I'm in a relationship. And I'm like, obviously, let's be realistic. Like, you can still notice if someone's good looking, or like if someone's flirting with you. It's like, let's not be delulu.
For sure.
Or like pretending it's not a thing.
Cal and I are very open with each other about like finding people attractive. Like we'll watch Love Island and I'm like, oh my God, he's hot. And she's like, oh my God, yeah, she's like really pretty. Or actually I press him a lot. I'm like, who do you think is the prettiest in this K-pop group? Because I'm just curious.
Like, why?
I'm like, there's no jealousy ever going on. I'm just genuinely curious.
Yeah.
Even when we were in the ambulance, but I'm like, we still are respectful about it. Like for instance, with the ambulance, when you're like, are they hot? Like, I'm not gonna in front of a guy be like, yeah, he's really hot. Like that's a line, that's a boundary that I would never cross. We're like very open about that. We like joke around those things a lot. If anybody ever is like, I've never flirted with anybody.
I was gonna say, I don't even think I've seen you in a situation where you're like, help, this guy's being too much.
Yeah.
I feel like you're really good with boundaries.
I just like put it up immediately. Exactly. Like I never would flirt with anybody, and I know he would never flirt with anybody, but if anybody like comes up to me in a situation and is like, can I buy you a drink or something? I'm always like, oh, I'm engaged. Like, thank you, but I'm engaged.
She's like, I'm engaged, but you can buy her a drink.
No, wait.
Points to me.
I told Cal, we went out one time and the guy was like trying to buy me drinks. And so I went home and I told Cal, like, that's how we were. I'm like, oh my God, this guy was trying to buy me drinks. And he's literally, Cal goes, wait, like next time we should go and you can give me the free drink. I'm like, oh my God.
Imagine you, thanks. And then you go and hand it to your date.
Can I have another one? I spilled it.
Oh, that's so
I think it's
funny.
just being, and every relationship is different. Not everybody feels as comfortable with that. And that's totally fine too. You have to be on the same, you have to understand your partner and where their boundaries are.
Yeah. Like one thing I love that Cal does is anytime a viewer comes up and asks for a photo, he always does the air hug. Like his arm's not touching them, and I'm just like,
it's so funny.
But like, that's not something you guys ever talked about, but clearly that like ever. I just remember after a meetup one time, all his photos had the air hug, and we were dying, and I was like,
going to the dog,
but it was cute because I'm like, clearly that's just like for him. He's like, I just want to have this boundary and like make it very, I don't want anything, and I'm just like, oh, that's so sweet. Like he thought about it.
Like we really don't get jealous at all. I know.
Yeah, like it's cute. He was like,
him with Carly Rae jumps in the air.
You're like, Cal, you can actually.
She's the one you're allowed to. Sorry.
Oh man, but it's cute. But yeah,
like, I think it's all. I also don't like, and I like we've never been in this situation, or Cal and I. But I've seen online where people get upset, if a girl went up to Cal and was like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And he would be like, I'm engaged. Thank you, though. And he came and told me, I'd be like, hell yeah. Someone thinks you're hot. That's amazing. Like, I love that.
My man's hot.
He's hot. I think that's amazing. Like, I love that. And like, he deserves that ego boost. That's amazing. But I have seen people online get upset when if a girl goes up to a guy and is like, hey, like, flirting with them, and they say, sorry, I'm engaged, or sorry, I have a girlfriend. It's like, no, you're not sorry about that.
What's crazy is I have never been on that side but it makes sense. I'm not on that side of the like TikTok, but also, yeah, sorry. Like, why are you sorry?
Like, sorry, I'm engaged. It's like, no, which I understand to some degree. It's like, yeah, sorry, you don't have a chance.
I mean, I say sorry when I run into people, so I could easily see me being like, oh, so sorry. I'm like, sorry, honestly, sorry for you, because you wish.
Yeah, that's
like,
the thing too. I could see that side. I'm not sure what, like, if I understand being upset of like, sorry, like, no.
I guess I'm not in a relationship. I think for me, I see it more as like, oh, so like, because he kind of got rejected. You know what I mean? It's like, sorry,
I'm engaged.
Sorry for you. I know I look perfect and you just want to date me, but I am in a relationship.
Sorry, not happening.
But if he makes it sound like, oh, sorry, I'm in a relationship, like that's different.
It's
the tone,
the wife,
the
thing we keep talking about. No, I think there's a respectful way, and also everybody's levels are different. So just have that conversation with your partner. Like, how would you like me to proceed? Like, what will make them feel the most comfortable in those situations?
Yes.
Also, let me just say, it's not like every time I step outside, some man's like, Remi. Okay, it's happened like a few times.
Earlier, I like was wording it right because I was like, I don't want to make it sound like you never get hit on. But I didn't want to say it that bluntly because I'm like, that's not true. Because I like,
you know, I've never seen any man actually ever come up to you.
I feel like I worded
ugly
it.
ogre.
I feel like I worded it good, but I was very like, oh, I don't want it to come across that way.
No, I mean, like, let me just say, it's not like it's happening every time I step outside, but the few times that it has, there's a respectful way to go about it. And truly, Cal and I come home and we giggle.
I will say though, Cal is he's down for anything. So I feel like usually he'll come out with us too. Mm-hmm. So I can't imagine someone trying to hit on you when your 6'3" boyfriend is right next to you.
One time we went out and a girl hit on Cal while we were together. I wasn't there, but he came over and I was like, fuck yeah.
You're like
he still got it. I forget what happened. But also I do think it's a red flag. Like if I were to come home and be like, oh my God, yeah, this guy came up to me, regardless of what I said back, and Cal gets upset, like that's a red flag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's just insecurity in a relationship. And like you can't control someone coming up and asking to buy you a drink or just saying you look nice.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? That I feel like is a different story.
Or also like you wouldn't do this, but if you were to like take the drink and give it to me and to go back and be like, oh yeah, like the guy brought me a drink, like to have that understanding that I know for a fact Cal would like know you weren't being sleazy about it. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. It's like a security.
It's a security
thing.
thing.
To be secure, yeah.
I know for a fact he would be very, and I'm using a drink as like you can fill in the blank with whatever.
Oh, well, even you and I went to dinner and I was swiping on your dating apps for you.
Oh, yeah.
And the waiter was like,
He
asked me, he was like, what dating app or like he asked me for a tip on dating apps or something. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm engaged. And he was like, wait.
And then he kind of came back, was like, aren't you?
He was like, wait, you're engaged, but you're on dating. I was like, oh, no, I'm swiping for her.
Yeah.
And then we were all like giggling about it. And then I told Cal, and Cal was like, wait, let's go back to the restaurant. And I'll be like, like fishing for the like it's the same waiter and like let's troll him and pretend like I'm upset. Like we just like joke about it. Like we're fine with it, but I also understand. And like that's a conversation we've had. I've been like, is it okay if I swipe on Alicia's dating apps? He's like, yes, it's literally fine. But like we've had that conversation. Yeah. It's okay.
And not even like, is it okay? It's like, hey, would this bother you?
Of course. Yes, you're so right. Mm-hmm. But also I could see some people being like, no, that's not okay. I don't mind if Cal's going on his friend's apps like for his friend, as long as he's not on the date, I'm okay with it.
As long as you're not the one, unless you're spying.
Unless it's for your friend truly, then I'm okay. Okay, next question. Top 3 items you're obsessed with right now and can't live without.
My Hera black cushion foundation.
You love it.
Honestly, cushion foundations, I like never got it. I think I just didn't know how to apply it. I think I just thought you like rub it instead of like that.
You know what really changed the game for me? You told me that the padding and then the excess off. I also have one for you. I kept forgetting to give you my shade that didn't match me.
Been loving that. Oh, the Fenty, I was wearing it today. It's probably off because I was drinking my drink. But Fenty Skin came out with like a lip oil.
Oh my God, the cherry one. I put that on this morning too.
Good.
Yeah, I loved it.
So good. That's like a newer thing I've been loving. And brown eyeliner.
Cute.
I've been doing brown eyeliner like on my tight liner. Just like, I forgot how much I love a brown eyeliner.
I love that. Okay, top 3 for me. The It Cosmetics CC Plus cream. I've been loving. The coverage is insane and it has SPF of like 50 in it.
I didn't know that.
Which I've been really trying to obviously wear my sunscreen since all of our facial stuff. Mm-hmm. I would say truly the Dove serum body washes are amazing.
And the whole body deo.
Oh, I love the whole body deo. You're so right. The Dove whole body deo is incredible. I'll put that in there. I brought it with me to Asia and Alisha and I are obsessed. I've been using it for anti-chafing purposes.
That is one that I did ask to use because I was like, I will be putting this on my inner thighs. So I just want to make sure you're fine with that.
I'm fine with that. I literally don't care.
But it works great.
Well, I've actually never been a chafer until like this year, really? Well, so actually, that's a lie. I will chafe, but like it was in very, very specific situations because
like wet shorts.
Because I always wear my like little safety shorts underneath. Like I always wear them, so I never really had those problems. This year specifically, I just started to chafe more. I don't know what. Maybe my thighs got bigger. I don't know. It doesn't matter. So that's amazing. I put it in between my thighs or like under boob sweat. It helps with that. It helps with any of that kind of stuff. And then I would say my third would probably be thighs specifically.
Just thighs. Like, and it must be the amount of like millimeters they are apart from each other. It must be the perfect,
friction. Yeah. This year I've been really dealing with it. So I like before I could get away on certain days of not wearing it. Now there was one day I forgot in Asia. Boom.
Yes.
Already. Like I felt the uncomfortable. Yeah.
Waddle baby,
I felt
waddle baby.
I hate that like friction going on. And then I would say slippers.
You do love a slipper.
I love a slipper. I get so excited to truly go home at night, shower, get all nice and clean, put on some fresh PJs, usually a big oversized K-pop shirt, some shorts, and then my slippers.
Is Remi having a bridal party?
Yes, I am. Woo! To answer your question, yes, I am.
For Remi, whatever happened to Honey Pop?
Oh, gorgeous question. Honey Pop, in case you don't know, was a skincare company that I came out with years and years and years ago. Let me just say, she was cute for the time. I had no business having a skincare company. Let me just say that. And let me also just say, thank God it was gone by the time that like all these people who should have skincare companies came out. Was the product good? Yes. Like, was it actually made in a lab that actually knew what they were doing? Yes. Did I know what I was doing? No. And like that, the thing is that was before I feel like all the influencer brands came out.
Yeah.
And I feel like as time has gone on, the ones that needed to faded away. I'll put Honey Pop in that category.
I'll put Parallel in that too.
And the ones that like should stay, that have owners who genuinely like know and are very passionate about that. Like, right. It did not make sense for me. Like, did I like skincare? Yes. And did I struggle with my acne? Yes. But at the same time, that's not enough for me to have a skincare company. And I'm totally aware of that now. I was like 22, 23. I
have a few things to say though.
Sure.
One, you clearly walked so Road could run. Okay.
That's not
Hold
true.
up the case.
She knows what she's doing. That's so funny. I know you meant that, but like that's not true, but thank you.
And then two, I will say like I felt so bad for you because I remember you had just started a new birth control and that's when you started breaking out really bad.
Yeah.
And it was, I remember when it came out, you were like, oh, this sucks because I've worked for over a year on this like skincare brand. And the second it's launching, like I have the worst skin that I've ever had. And it just like, I was like, oh, like I didn't like skincare is just so hard to do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I believe like if you're going to have a skincare brand, you should be a dermatologist.
You should have beauty experts and dermatologists involved.
That's the thing. I believe if you're going to like have a Parallel's different, clothing is different, but I'm thinking more of like the makeup girls, like the people that have like makeup companies, like you should be like a makeup artist or you should be like so genuinely passionate.
Also, it's like you're a chemist. Like you need to like learn like or partner with someone who is an expert.
Who knows their stuff. Exactly. To answer your question, she's gone. I believe it was gone within like a year or so. It came, she went. Again, I partnered with an amazing company. They came to me specifically. That's the thing. They came to me. They're like, do you want to do this company? I was like, honestly, yeah, they're like, that sounds really fun. And again, this was like before the big wave of everyone having a company. And
everyone had merch and you had this.
Exactly. Oh my God. I remember when I said I was releasing merch and I made that and people were like, I wanted a sweatshirt. I was like, shoot, I didn't know. It just ended up not honestly doing very well, if I'm just being super candid. And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with the fact that I wasn't super, super passionate about it.
It was like a mask, right?
Yeah, it was like it was just like a cutesy little like DIY mask situation. You could like make it a cute color. It had some like exfoliating things. Again, the actual product itself was very good. Like it was really, really good. But again, I think I was just the wrong person for it. I felt really badly because again, they came to me and they wanted to work with me. And it just ended up not being a great fit, and they were awesome and super nice, and it was a fun experience. I learned a lot.
Oh my God.
I can't believe people even remember it still. Thanks
Your
for being
legacy.
around. My legacy.
I had a box under my bathroom sink for I think like 4 years. Like, and I knew it was expired, but I still had it there. And I was just like, I'd always look at it like, Honey Pop.
I still have her. I like to look at her. I think it's cool. Like it's something that I'll show my kids one day. I was so young. I was still like new to doing social media. I wasn't sure how to make a decision for myself yet. It was a lot of like people, well, first of all, them coming to me, a lot of people on my team being like, oh, this is a really cool opportunity.
You have to do this. Like, one day you can sell it for millions.
You would miss out if you didn't do this. And so I was like, oh my God, like for sure. But now I'm obviously a lot older. I know myself a lot more. I know what I want to do and like what I actually want to leave behind. To anybody who bought Honey Pop, thank you so much. Appreciate you. It wasn't a ton of people, but thank you. Now I know, something that would make more sense that I'm like genuinely super passionate about. Like it would make so much more sense for me even to do the spatula collaboration that I did like that.
I used mine this morning.
Thank you
I use
so
it like
much.
every
I met
day.
a girl at Disneyland who was like, I bought her spatula. So like that made more sense to me because it's more in the cooking realm. If I were to drop like a cookware brand or something like that would just make a lot more sense because it's something that I am much more passionate about.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing that hurts a lot of influencers. And granted, like we were passionate in those things when we first started it, but I feel like when you just see influencers or celebrities like slap their name on literally everything, it just kind of like, I don't know. It's like, okay, another cash grab. I don't know. But I not that Honey Pop was.
Well, I also didn't make $1.
But me, welcome to the club.
Thank you, Cotton, for sponsoring the Pretty Basic podcast. Since you hit play on this podcast, thousands of photos have been posted on social media, capturing the moment, but not always living in them, and probably a few hundred more by now. Cotton is asking us to help our listeners take a pause, to tell stories instead of just watching them, and to make moments better by wearing a versatile, comfortable, and long-lasting fabric, a fabric you may even be wearing or laying on right now. As I'm recording this, I'm currently sitting in one of my favorite cotton sweat sets. It is so unbelievably comfy. And you guys know there is just something about me. I'm very, very particular when it comes to choosing fabrics. It can't be too itchy. It has to be super soft. I'm very selective. And cotton is natural and comes from the earth. And because it's natural, it does not contribute to microplastic pollution. Cotton is natural and hypoallergenic, making it gentle on your skin. I'll be honest with you guys, my life can be chaotic and I'll be so busy back to back, but I'm definitely taking a pause, especially when my life feels like so, go, 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 go. There's been so much happening.
Honestly, I love wearing my comfy cotton sweats. There's nothing better than just sliding them on. Oh, opening up my drawer and getting so excited to take my tight
After a fresh
pants off.
shower.
And put on something so comfy. Yeah, after a shower, something so comfy. The cotton on my legs just feeling so smooth and relaxing. It puts me at so much ease. Not only being comfortable, but also turning off my phone and watching a movie with Cal. Taking a pause is so important for me because I really get wrapped up in work and I have a really hard time setting boundaries. So it's really important for me to make those clear distinctions between work and relaxing time.
Remi and I always hear you guys, and we want to be present for you as much as we can. Let us know how you like to press pause. Press pause with cotton, the natural choice. Discover the fabric of now at thefabricofourlives.com. I know we've all tried many different ways to feel good after a night of drinks, and I found something that actually works. It's pre-alcohol probiotic from the brand ZBiotics. Huge shout out to the influencer's influencer, Miss Remi Ashton, for introducing me to ZBiotics. They have changed my life and you need to try them. Their probiotic was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. This is a proactive solution that wards off feeling miserable the next day instead of a reactive approach like drinking electrolytes or eating greasy food. My first time trying ZBiotics was at a music festival and Remi gave me some. When I tell you I had them all weekend long, I drank it before my first tequila soda. That's my go-to. And you wouldn't believe how on top of my game I felt the very next morning. Like I felt amazing. I'm not kidding. Ever since then, I always have ZBiotics in my pantry. I stock up. I just ordered some more the other day. It's so nice, especially, to offer friends. And after turning 30, it's just become a necessity. And if you're wondering how to use ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic, don't worry, I got you. It's actually very simple. Step 1, have ZBiotics. For best results, make ZBiotics your first drink of the night. I personally like to have mine about an hour or so before I plan on drinking. Step 2, drink responsibly, pace yourself, hydrate, and get a good night's sleep. Step 3, enjoy tomorrow. Wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the day. Join the movement of empowered women choosing ZBiotics for smoother mornings and unstoppable success. Enhance your mornings with ZBiotics. Go to zbiotics.com/prettybasic to get 15% off your first order when you use Pretty Basic at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/prettybasic and use the code prettybasic at checkout for 15% off. Thank you to ZBiotics for sponsoring this episode and our good times.
How to help with uncertainty in your 20s and knowing to trust yourself. Love you both.
Ooh.
Speaking of uncertainty in your 20s.
This is the first thing that came to my mind. So I could have a better answer tomorrow or when I'm in a shower thinking about this.
We install shower heads.
Yes.
They come from the ceiling.
Yes.
Just
like rain on me. Like,
love that.
I think you just get used to uncertainty. You get used to realizing that you don't know what the future holds, or like that things can change or evolve, or your career can change. And I think in your 20s, you just have such an idea of how your life is going to go. So the first time it feels uncertain, it's so scary. But then once you go through that, then the next time something's uncertain, you're like, well, I'll get through it. Like,
I've been here before.
yeah.
I think the same thing.
Okay. I was like, that sounds right in my head.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think once you start to understand that, and it's also not just in your 20s, I can assume,
Yes.
like uncertainty is just a normal feeling that you go through, like joy or sadness or
Yes.
anxiety.
Or
We watched
Delulu.
Inside Out too. Or Delulu. Truly, like it's something that you always experience, but I do think as you get older, the beauty of getting older is you know more of yourself and you know what you want and you know what you strive for, you know your moral compass, and that helps you navigate through the uncertainty.
1,000%. And I just think, like, again, you realize that life is never what you plan. Like the plan that you have for your life, the quicker you can learn to let go of like the control you want of everything, the better quality of life you'll have.
So
1,000%.
that's what I'm working on right now.
It's hard.
Truly, at 22, I thought that I was going to be a skincare guru because someone told me I was going to be a skincare guru.
Yeah.
Right now, if someone came and was like, hey, I want you to do a skincare, I'd be like, okay, call someone else.
Not your girl.
Yeah, sorry, call Hiram or whoever else is out there. Like truly, like call someone else because I am not your girl.
Yeah.
It's just, it takes a lot of like learning and understanding and growing and going through those things to find out who you are and like what you want.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Does Cal mind having Ollie and Alisha as third wheels? A lot.
I can't answer this one.
No, but also I wouldn't say you guys are like third wheels a lot. Would you say that? I don't think so.
I agree. Maybe just online it looks like we are a lot.
I was going to say, I think it's that. Like Cal and I spend so much time together. We also spend time with his friends a lot. Like his friends come and stay with us a lot. Like there's a lot that I don't show online that people just don't know, obviously.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't actually say you guys are around like a ton. We definitely like do things together from time to time. But he doesn't mind.
No, I feel like he doesn't mind.
I love having his friends over. Like I love hanging out with his friends, and I have to believe he feels the same way to some degree.
I'm sure at first he was like, whoa, this is a lot. You know what I mean?
Well, we
With me
are a
and
lot
Ollie.
too. Yeah.
But no, I feel like now, it's
I think
not.
he loves it. I think
Yeah.
he thinks you guys are so funny. He loves being there. I also will give him the
Poker
option.
night was so fun.
Like I was thinking about
We
poker
should do
night the
that
other
again.
day with Cal. I started giggling and he was like, "What are you laughing at?" Because I was looking for posts for Ollie for his birthday, and I saw a poker one. And I was like, "Remember when Ollie beat us all in poker?" But we knew he was going to beat us
Yeah.
all in poker.
my favorite was him like, did I win?
Wait, we should do a poker night.
Let's do it.
I love that idea.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah, did I win? And he had all the chips.
My obsessive personality, like I wanted to go home and buy a full on poker set.
You should have.
And I never did.
That was really fun.
But it was in my cart multiple times because I was like, oh, I need it.
I see you screenshotted who's going to be Remi's maid of honor.
You know what's funny is I saw that and I was like, I don't remember screenshotting.
Likely
Like,
story.
I truly was like, because I saw it earlier and I was like, Alisha, why did you screenshot that?
I don't want to annoy anybody with like not answering. And like right now, Alisha and I have this funny joke where she's like, I mean, for the Bachelorette, I mean, if I'm invited.
If I'm going.
It's so funny.
I don't want to assume.
Obviously, you're in the bridal party. Don't you're so annoying.
Me?
No.
Well, okay, again, no, I'm not gonna like. This is the first time you've like said that.
I appreciate you not assuming. Obviously, we all know you're in the bridal party. Yay! But I
Where's my box?
I want to ask everybody offline first
no,
before
I
I
think
say
that's
anything.
sweet.
So I know people keep asking, and don't worry, like you will know eventually if
Even
I
like
don't know if I'm gonna film it and post it, or I don't know if you'll find out on the wedding day. Like truly, I don't know. I haven't
you
decided.
mean the
anything.
bachelorette party because that will be.
Well, the bachelorette also, I'm gonna have more people than just the
you're
the
so
bridal
right.
party.
You're so right. You're
so
so
I don't.
right.
I mean, I have not thought of my content strategy plan.
Why
for
should
the
you,
wedding.
though?
But just know, like, I want that to be like a private moment. I'm gonna I'll film it whether it's for my memories or I choose to post it. But
Yeah.
I haven't thought of like the way that I want to ask people. So comment down below and let me know if you have any suggestions on what I should do.
I feel like honestly, like TikTok has so many good ideas.
I know.
And it has to be like personal to you too. Like it has to be something that's so Remi or like you and that person or you know what I mean?
I kind of love that. I like making it special for every person.
It doesn't have to be like the same. I don't know.
Yeah. I personally have just always like the thing that I look forward to most about a wedding, other than marrying the love of my life, is the bridesmaids aspect or the bridal party aspect, because I spend probably just as much time in the morning getting ready with all my girls as I do with Cal. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Like that's what I'm like looking forward to most for the morning, truly. Like that's going to be so exciting and fun. So I want my girlies there, and that's something that I've always personally wanted.
Speaking of weddings, Remi, are you going to have an unplugged wedding, or are you going to allow people to film it?
Oh,
where's the live stream?
This is the question of the moment, considering all the stuff that happened online, in case anybody missed it, which Alisha and I were like, oh my gosh, we should totally, because honestly, when I was watching it all go down, I was like, oh my God, these are like real things that I have to think about regarding unplugged or not. I will say, okay, so I saw a lot of commotion around what happened at Cover and Alex's wedding.
Yes. Ooh. Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah, that was really, because I was like, this is crazy. And so then it started getting me think about, obviously, like what I want for my wedding. In case you missed it, there was a guest at their wedding which when I saw this happening in real time, I was like, oh, that's not. Before like anyone like picked up on it, I had seen the TikTok the morning after the wedding that was like, vlog is up on the channel. And I was like, oh, that's when I was like, no. That's really, really, really bad. Basically, a guest had gone to their wedding, and I believe they were posting during the ceremony when it was asked to be an unplugged ceremony, which is already bad. But the vlog really got me, because I was like, they're probably still in a high. They just woke up. They haven't even like gotten a single photo back yet. And there's already like vlogs and all these things up of their wedding. Which I definitely didn't agree with. And then I saw a lot of people, it became this big discussion online, and a lot of people were like, you should not be vlogging at weddings. You shouldn't be doing this, and so not only was I thinking about mine, I was also like, oh my God.
There's just a respectful line, even if you're quote allowed to, or you're given permission to like not be obnoxious about it.
If the bride and groom are okay, it's just such a weird situation, or like we're in such a niche category, because we are vloggers ourselves. So like we do social media. So like with having all these people come to the wedding, it's like, you need to make a decision, yes or no. To post your vlog before they could even get home, the bride and groom could even get home, that's what's really disrespectful and not okay.
I'd be pissed.
For sure, same.
I'd be like, so do I cancel my Netflix special?
Get Netflix on the phone.
The main reason why people do that is more so for the professional photos that they're paying like literally thousands of dollars for. You don't want phones in all your photos.
Yes, when you get the photos back and everyone's phone is out.
But I will say, I've heard, I think it's so situational, because I've heard some brides say they're so glad that they had other people have phones, because they had so many other angles or videos or things that like they never would have seen, and even to see it from that person's like POV, versus just the super, how sometimes you love candid photos more than like the staged professional ones.
Of course.
So I've heard both sides, where some people like unplugged and like plugged. So or plugged, unplugged or having phones? That sounds weird to say.
Plugged.
Plugged.
I gotta love that. Plugged. This is a plugged ceremony. Get
everyone
your phones out.
Plugged ceremony.
I think it depends at the end of the day on the bride and groom and what they want, because it's their day.
And your relationship with the bride.
Yeah, it's just like making sure that you are not stepping over a boundary, respecting what they want. And so for me, I've been thinking, like, I personally would love for everyone to vlog. Like I'll rewatch if I was there in your vlog, and you, me and Ollie hung out and we all vlogged. I'll watch everybody's point of views, because I just like seeing everyone's point of views, and like that's what I want to see. I want to see like people's getting ready, or when I'm up in the suite like doing a hair change, like what are you doing down there? Like I want to see that. Like I'm curious about those things. So
wait, how they have like video booths at weddings where people leave messages?
Yeah.
Or they'll have disposable cameras or Polaroids on the tables.
Yeah.
You should have vlog cameras with lights.
Wait, that's so cute.
And you get all of the memory.
Wait, I love
like
that.
You get all the memory cards. Like
that's
the
fun.
Alex Earl light.
Wait, I'm obsessed with that idea, because that's the thing, is I just like cannot wait to sit down after all the craziness is done and like watch everybody's point of views. But I do agree that I should get to post my stuff first.
Yeah.
As like silly as that sounds, like it is our job and our livelihood and like things like that. So it's weird. It's weird when like personal things kind of cross over with the business side of things too.
Well, even because I went to a wedding, and I remember everyone had their phones. It wasn't announced if it was plugged or not.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, can I have my phone out? And I look at everyone has their phone out. So I'm like, okay, I can have my phone out. And then I remember like seeing other people had posted her coming down the aisle and stuff. So I was like, okay, I think it's fine for me to post. So then I posted it, and then people were like, how dare you post her before? And I was like, I don't know. And I was just like, I don't know. But then also,
it's what the bride wants. And the bride's cool
like
with that.
she was so fine with it.
Yeah.
But again, I was like, oh, this would have been nice to know beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, so I do think that's something nice to like, everyone's just going to go off of each other. So even if there's someone who's, even if you're not supposed to, but someone else sees it or someone's going to forget. It's like, I don't know.
Or like have whoever's going up to speak, like start the ceremony off with like, hi, this is an unplugged ceremony. Or I saw online, a couple recently was getting married, and the person who was officiating them was like, all right, everybody, you get 2 minutes, take your phones out, take your photos. And like the bride and groom were posing, which was cute. And
Wait,
then like, okay, put them away now.
Yeah.
So that was cute too. It's different for everybody. I think also just something to note that I took away from this situation was people who are coming to my wedding. Like everyone can invite who they want to their wedding, obviously. People who are coming to my wedding, I would expect to respect my wishes.
Oh.
And I only want people at my wedding who are going to respect my wishes. And
if
that's
they're
how
not,
I feel.
I will make sure they're not there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Your invitation actually went to someone else. Someone else's invitation went to you. Your seat's no longer available.
We've actually restructured the list.
And unfortunately, it's no standing room available. So you're going to have to go back home.
Love that. I think that at the end of the day, I need to sit down and actually figure out what do I want.
Yeah.
And then make that very clear.
Yeah. And I think whatever's most stress-free for you. You know what I mean?
For sure. At the end of the day, I need to do whatever I want to do. And whether you're online or not, every bride or groom like should do.
Yeah.
I know so many times. And like when I went on the trip with the knot, a big thing was like, how do you handle family members who like really want to say in your wedding? And so actually, this is a really good piece of advice that I'm going to pass on, that I pass on to Abby, who's Cal's sister, who's getting married, where she was just like, oh my God, like, what did you take from the trip? Like, what's the best thing? And I was like, oh, this is really interesting, actually.
Sorry, I was just thinking, because you know how sometimes, oh my God, there'll be like, whether it's a relative or a family friend or someone, they're like, oh, I'll sing at your wedding. And you're like, oh shoot. Like, how do I say no? Like, usually with the best intentions, they want to help and they want to like, but that's so awkward. And I'm not just singing, but even like someone wanting to plan whether it's a bachelorette or like your bridal shower, and you're like, no, like I already like hired someone to do, or like, you know what I mean? And I know it's a love language and they just want to help, but yeah, I do think weddings
bring out the crazy, whether it's with good intent or bad.
And as a people pleaser, you can't be a people pleaser.
Absolutely
Because
not.
otherwise it will not be your wedding. It'll be everyone else's.
Agreed. I mean, luckily I've been very lucky that both my parents and my future in-laws and just like everybody in my life has been so nice to me about, and like I've never felt any pressure for anything yet. Again, we haven't really gotten into anything yet, but we'll see about anything regarding choices or anything. But the big thing, which I know a lot of people feel, is like, oh, you know, like my parents are paying or I'm getting this money from this family member and they want to have a say in the wedding because they're contributing. And so the Knot trip kept saying, like, all these professionals there were just like, you know what you do then? You devote a certain thing, because weddings are expensive, obviously. Mm-hmm. Like I totally get that. And so they're like, what you do is you devote like whatever money you're having, given to you from whatever family member or friend or whatever, and you devote that to a certain thing. So it's like, okay, my parents are giving me this much money, I'm devoting them to food. So if they do have a say, you know,
they can come to the
it's
food
either
tasting.
Chicken or fish. Yeah, it's either chicken or fish, or it's steak or chicken.
Wait, that's great. Like you can narrow down your favorites, and then you can like let them have a say.
I would love a choice. Exactly. I mean, I know some people obviously also are like, here's some money, do whatever you want with it.
I mean, I feel like the ideal situation is like, are you giving me this money with conditions? Is this conditional or is it not conditional? And like just understanding that. Because I do think like a lot of times people will give a gift like that, like, hey, like we'd love to help pay for the wedding, but then like subconsciously they would like a say where it's not stated like, hey, we want to help, we want to like
flowers,
like what can we help you with, or whatever I don't know.
Devote it, like take their money, devote that to cocktail napkins, devote that to florals, devote that to
photo booth.
Oh
exactly.
my God.
Like stuff that's kind of easy to hand off.
What background should we get for the photo booth then? Like since you're, if they do ask like, hey, can I help? Like then you're like, oh yeah. So I actually took your money, I put it towards the photo booth. What color do you think the photo booth should be? I'm thinking blue.
Props or no props?
Exactly.
Wow. Wait,
wasn't that a good tip?
Good.
So any of my friends who are getting married who like have been like, what did you take away from that trip? That's the big thing. I was like, what a great tip.
Even like, should I have disposable cameras on the thing, or should I have a video, blah, 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 or like, is this a better, do we do the confetti thing where we all leave, or
like
the
sparklers?
Yeah. It's a good thing to like narrow down your favorites and then let that person like help, just take their input. They don't have to decide, but you can be like, help. I would love your
Yes.
opinion. Like, kind of
Yes.
include them, but not too much.
Only if they ask too. I feel like you don't need to offer that. But I have some friends who have been in situations where, parents are paying or relatives are
like the
paying and they're
in-laws.
like demanding a say in things.
And I think a lot of it is like they just want to be a part.
Weddings make people crazy.
I know.
It's
But
really
I think
crazy.
like for some people who aren't heard, they just like getting louder versus like coming to you being like, hey, like, I know it's your day. I'd love to be included. Like, obviously, like the
maybe it's like a
mature
projection
answer.
of some sort.
I think it's like feeling one, out of control, or two, feeling like they're getting looked over. No one cares about I feel like a lot of like older relatives, at least in my life, they'll like make comments and you're like, okay, just be outright and say like,
say what you really feel.
say what you really feel. Like, don't be like, oh, no one, I don't know. Like, it's just like,
I'm
okay.
hoping to remain this even keel throughout
You
my
will.
experience. I think I really might too. Because it's just a day.
I mean, I didn't grow up in a family, even distant family members who like, I've never grown up in that where it's like there's such a say. I'm praying my in-laws are like that, but maybe they won't be because mine are so chill. But also I've never, and realistically, like I'm sure I mean, I don't know if they have, but like I would mostly be paying for my wedding. It's not like they're providing the whole thing. I do know that's a harder thing when it's like your parents are paying for it all.
And that's what I understand. I understand that too.
So
I
it's
really
like, well,
do.
you have to bring Aunt so-and-so who like raised you. And I also remember hearing something where it's like, if I haven't spoken to them in a year, they're not going to come to the wedding. Like that just, I do think that's a very real, because there used to be a group of people who like were people that we grew up with that I used to think, oh, I'm going to have to invite them. And I'm like, no, I don't have to.
And that's where I'm at right now, where I'm like, people are like, every person has a dollar sign on their head.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously I want them there, but at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. So it's like, I love this person. I haven't seen them in 10 years, but I love them. Like, but they were there for me when I was a kid. Like, what do you do? So like, I'm definitely
Easy.
in that. Because also that makes my number jump from like this to like this.
You have me call them and say, here's the live stream link where you'll be able to view the wedding of Mr. and Mrs. Cal Parsons.
Dying.
Please join us in the queue.
You're really? I already told you you're in the bridal party. You don't have to fight for your spot anymore.
I'm not. This is me fighting for the maid of honor. I'm kidding. I'm truly kidding. I truly. No, I think I just need, like, I would love to be a sassy little
Secretary,
but I can't do it for myself. I can only do it for other people.
I feel that's
You know what I
exactly
mean?
how I feel.
So I'm like, I want that side to show out.
Okay, well,
Who do I need to yell at?
I'm going to keep that in mind.
And especially for Miss Remi Ashton's wedding, I will throw hands.
When a bitch shows up in a white dress, you know what to do.
Hi, your seat is actually here in this closet. Lock it. There's like a TV so she can do it.
With the red wine.
Me and Ollie will I'll do that. Oh no. Lucky for you, I have the perfect dress that will fit you. It's pink.
in this closet.
Go change. I cannot imagine the audacity of someone wearing white to a wedding.
It's really crazy.
It's crazy.
Again though, which I can't fully say this, but I'm like, similarly, you want people at your wedding who will respect,
Understand that.
But also I understand it's usually like a crazy aunt or like a really crazy mother-in-law or like
they're
something like that.
It's cream. Or
Yeah.
like they're like, well, it's a light gray. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, see,
Photographed? That's white.
Even when we were going to
Flash
Matt and
photograph?
Patricia's wedding, I had a dress that was like a light brown. And I was like, I don't want anything that could possibly look like even cream.
Same.
So I was like, we're going like, I forget what I wore, green.
Yeah.
I purposely went out of my way because I was like, I can't bring anything. Even we all did a brunch or something like that. I was like, even at that, I cannot wear anything that has white.
Absolutely. And then like, that's how people should think.
I know.
I understand. And that's very
Regardless.
respectful of you. Oh, here's one. We need the Zane and Alisha tea.
What is the tea?
I need the listeners to know that Heath, Mariah and I, we are here for it. We are
didn't
here
know
for
that.
it. Interesting. We are here for it. Along with the viewers. I love when the comments are like, oh my God, like we love when Remi and like Heath are like, da-da-da-da. We're like, no, like we're here for it. We are. You guys are both amazing people, and I think you would be so cute. But if you want to just be friends, you can just be friends. It's fine.
No, I like being friends with people before anything.
That's so true.
And
Being
that's so
friends
true.
before a relationship is so nice. And just like Leah and Miguel on Love Island versus
get it.
Miguel and Sierra.
You get it.
She literally said that. She was like, I get it. Like you guys were friends before and we just had a physical relationship. You're so right.
And you took the words right out of my mouth, Remi.
Wait, move your mouth and I'll say it. Just like Leah and Miguel on Love Island, they have a friendship first and then it can blossom into something. Do you think he's cute?
I've already said that.
You think he's cute?
Yeah, I've literally already said that publicly.
Say yes or no.
I don't know.
What's your favorite thing about him?
Okay, we're not going there. Everyone's like, give us the tea. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to give.
Okay, here's the thing. T, you think he's cute?
Remi, this isn't high school.
That's T. I have nothing else to report. You think he's cute. That's the T.
I can neither confirm nor deny that we've talked about stuff. That's it. That's it.
Did I know that?
Literally, that's it.
I feel like I actually didn't know that. Okay, next question. Alisha, have you ever thought about freezing your eggs?
So I know a lot of people in my life, I was just talking about this earlier, where they're like, yeah, I'm really thinking about freezing my eggs. And all this stuff. And it's so weird because like I feel very passionate where I'm like, I don't feel like I need to do that. But I've also had women who are older tell me like the sooner you can freeze your eggs. So it's weird because I've always been someone who just intuition, the INFJ, the I for intuition, like I'm trusting my gut. But at the same time, it's like, how much do you trust your gut versus what if it's too late to where one day I can't have kids and I will regret not freezing my eggs sooner?
You mean trust your gut of like, just wait? Or your gut's telling you to wait?
My gut's saying I don't feel a desire to freeze my eggs. Yeah. But I know, like, what if one day I'll look back and be like, wow, I should have done it when I was 30 because maybe when I'm 36, it'll be too late or something like that. Like, obviously, ideally, I would want kids by the time I'm 36, but maybe there's a world where I don't have kids by then and I'm going to look back and be like, oh, I wish I like froze my eggs. I was even talking to a friend and she's 35. And I remember I was talking to her about it and she was like, yeah, when I was 30, I didn't care too much, but like now I am caring. And it's like,
she has kids or no kids?
She doesn't have kids. And she's like, I'm really considering it. And I was just like, you know what? Like I've always taken the seat of like, if I'm meant to have kids, I'll have kids. And if not, I won't. But obviously like then there's science too, where it's like, okay, but why not help? So I do think it's so personal. But me currently in this moment, I'm not like researching it, but it is like a back thought of like, oh, maybe, you know, that's not the plan I've ever had for my life, but maybe there's a world where that's something I should deeply consider. I will say, because my mom's adopted, Ash and I have always been so open to adopting kids. So I think, which like, obviously that isn't for everyone if people don't feel like passionate about that. But I do think like, because that's an option and I've always thought that, I guess it doesn't seem like it would be the end of the world if I couldn't have my own kids, which like, obviously I would still love to. But I don't know. It's so weird. It's so weird. And also sometimes it's just like, it may not be my eggs. Maybe it'll be like my guy who struggles with it. You know what I mean? Or like whatever the case is. Like, I don't know. It's such a weird conversation, but I'm glad people are having it. I also like just the thought of like, okay, where do my eggs stay? And what if they like mix them up and I get someone else's and like,
oh my goodness.
No, but like, isn't it crazy? I think you have to pay like $100 or something a year to like store your eggs.
Keep them in the freezer.
Like it makes sense, but it's just weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really cool that people are talking about it so much more and more people are doing it now. I have friends who are even in relationships, like long-term relationships, and are still talking about doing that because they are just not ready now.
Yeah.
So I think that's super cool. I think that it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
I think honestly, you should just follow your gut. And if there's always going to be a better time, because even right now you could be like, oh, I wish I did it when I was 25. Like, that's just how it's going to be. So you don't need to think in that way. Yeah. And whenever you are ready, then that was your time when you were ready to do so.
Yeah. I feel like check in with me in a year. We'll see where we're at.
I think that it's a wonderful thing to have an option to do. And there's no pressure or stress on your timeline.
But at least in this moment, I feel good about that. You
know?
know?
I think no rush personally right now.
Yeah.
And if you're meant to have kids, then you will.
Can't wait to be an aunt.
Not anytime soon. Give me a few years. Maybe you get your eggs frozen and I'll get pregnant at the same time.
Whoa.
Then we can like both go through something fun at the same time.
I don't know if mine would be considered fun.
I don't think being pregnant sounds fun either.
What do you mean? Wait, did your mom
just like a
her pregnancy?
life-changing thing?
Oh, totally. Like there's those moms who are like, it was the most beautiful 9 months of my life.
I don't think she loved it.
Okay, and then there's the people who are like, oof, it was really rough.
I don't think I'm going to love it either, to be honest.
I think I'm going to love it.
I feel like you're going to glow.
I can't wait to be like, babe, go get me pickles.
Yeah, you're going to have the craziest food combos.
Schoolisha.
Wait, you're going to have the craziest food combos. Or because you already like weird food combos, maybe it's going to do a factory reset and you're going to be like, I only want bread and butter or like
imagine I have
cardboard.
none and I'm going to be so... My mom said big stick popsicles.
I love a big stick popsicle.
She loved. And then pickles. And there was something else. I'll have to ask her that she said.
Did you do like a pregnancy edition when you did your weird food combos?
You know what? No, because I feel like every one I just kept trying to... I'd look up pregnancy ones, like trying to find anything weird.
I'm so curious which one specifically. I think my mom really liked watermelon or something. I forget. specific things.
Wait, that's so funny.
I can't wait. I mean, I would in my dreams we'd be pregnant together.
Hey, Remi,
but if we're
we
not,
never know.
I mean, I know.
Just like give me the heads up.
I did.
I'll
told
go
you
down
my
to the
timeline.
sperm bank.
I told you my timeline.
Why freeze
Did you
my
watch the
egg?
Kardashians episode where Khloe and Malika went to the sperm bank?
No, but I know what's her name from Vanderpump did that too.
It was very interesting.
It's weird because you pick out.
They had like binders.
Well, you know how people say dating apps are weird because you swipe and it's just based off of looks?
Yeah.
Yo, next level is sperm donors because you basically go through and it's like, what do I want my kid to look like?
I think maybe even top above Hinge, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Like even more.
Yeah.
Like some people are like, I feel so weird just like swiping because it feels superficial. But I'm like, dude, I'll give you one better.
Yeah.
Going to the sperm bank, opening binders and reading about people's like personalities, because like obviously your kid will also have some of their like personality traits.
Also, what I found interesting is two things. They have like certain tiers where you can pay more money, and it was like level A, level B, level C. Level A, you pay like a lot more money, but then they use the sperm once and then delete it, or they throw it out, or they get rid of it so that the baby doesn't have like other siblings out there. Because like a lot of kids will go.
Wait, you can. Oh, but there's multiple.
Yeah, they use the sperm. Like, yeah.
What? Okay,
so,
test. Got it. I was like, one.
Less expensive, when they could potentially have a lot of siblings or something like that out there. And then another thing that I thought was really interesting was, they don't have photos of the men like currently.
Yeah.
They have baby photos because you're going to see what your baby, like potentially your baby would be mixed like this, but they don't have current photos of them. Also, did you know redheads are not able to donate sperm or sell sperm?
Why?
I don't know, but I just think that's a little strange. I love a redhead.
What are you trying to get rid of the redheads for?
Also redheads need significantly more anesthesia when they go under.
Huh.
Why can't redheads donate sperm? Oh, you can. Okay, I'm so sorry. That was a myth. It said that the world's largest sperm bank is telling potential donors who have red hair that there simply wasn't much demand.
Oh,
but
people didn't want.
You can.
Wait, the way that you said a myth, but like you made it up.
But
like it was funny.
I've heard. I think Kaylee might have told me that forever ago. Like I've heard that for a long time.
I need to start doing that. Be like, oh, sorry, that was a myth. But I just said it wrong.
That was a myth. So sorry. Yeah, that was a myth.
Wait, that's so funny. Wait, no, it's not funny that the redheads weren't being chosen. This isn't even a hot take. This is me just being curious. You know how when it was a new thing to have influencer families, family vloggers go viral, and now that the kids are older, we're hearing their side. And granted, there's good and bad to both sides, whatever. I'm so curious because I saw a few TikToks of people saying that they were a sperm donor child, and now that they're getting older, it was interesting hearing like their POV of things. And there was multiple of them I saw on TikTok. They were like stitching each other because they had a tattoo of the number that the sperm thing was.
Oh,
because like that's their
so
dad.
cute.
You know what I mean? And so like I'm so curious just to hear theirs. And granted, again, it's different for whoever was grown up. And I honestly love that science has evolved that you can do something like this. But I am so curious to just hear like what's it like. What's that like? You know what I mean?
In Sweden, up until a few years ago, women couldn't go to a sperm bank and be impregnated unless you were a couple. And then just a few years ago, they made it so that single moms could go. So at Christmas,
yes,
her and her son,
yes,
she went as soon as they opened it up for single women to go.
Oh my God.
Isn't that really cool?
See, I think that's so cool because it's like, I think there's so many years where women were just like, I don't care who it's with. I just want a baby.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, whether that's like you're stuck in a toxic relationship or like something like that, and like, you just work. But I would be so scared to like, it feels like adoption, because obviously you can have an open or closed adoption, but it's like, could you somehow, what if your kid who's a sperm donor baby is like, I want to find my dad? Like, how do you do that?
I think at 18, I think they said that on the Kardashians episode. I think that's when they're able to get information if they want it, like similar to when you're adopted.
Whoa. That's crazy. It's just so interesting.
That also might be a myth. I might have made that up, but I think they said that on the Kardashians episode. But it was really interesting.
Well, now that I think about it, I'm sure on the guy side and the, like, whoever's picking the sperm and then the guy side too, like, I'm sure it says, are you open to
contact?
Are you, open to contact or not?
Have you ever seen 3 Perfect Strangers?
The movie or the show?
No, the show with the 3 guys with the study. 3 identical strangers.
Oh.
You guys, everyone needs to watch. We'll end on this. It's this story about how this guy went to college, and then at college, it's a real story. This happened in real life. This guy's walking around the campus and everyone's calling him a different name. He's like, what is going on? What is going on? Turns out there was a guy on campus who looked exactly like him. They're like, oh my God, wait, they put it together. They're twins.
Stop.
They go crazy viral on the news. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Boom, turns out triplets. There's another one. And so I don't want to spoil it, actually. It's a really crazy story.
Wait, okay, what's it on?
Actually, I will spoil it.
Okay.
I think it's on, I'll just give you, you need to watch.
But even if it's the same sperm,
on Hulu.
Strong genes, but like if they're all different.
Well, no. So what it was, they're not from a sperm bank. They were actually all 3 adopted. I won't give away all the details, but just scratching the surface, it came out that there was this really crazy, horrible study being done with an adoption agency where they would put all these kids out, separate them, put them in different classes and watch them to see how they developed in these different classes.
Like nature versus nurture, like identical. What the hell?
It was, just watch it. It's insane.
Well, it's crazy because there's always those studies that are like, there's always just studies, right? About how much is genetic or blah, blah, blah. And I feel like twins are a huge part of that because it's like, well, let's just use 2 twins, give them different lifestyles and see how much changes or whatever. But it's like, were they old enough to consent to that?
No, they were separated at birth, literally.
That's crazy.
As infants. Yeah. I highly recommend watching it. It's insane. It's a real story. And it's honestly, it's really heartbreaking. It's so sad. And I do not understand how it ended in the way that it did. And like to this day is still happening.
Oh my God, I can't wait to watch it.
It's really, really good.
Well, we went a little over time today.
Sorry.
We do have a lovely gossip dinner to go to. Can't wait to chat it up.
Can't wait to hear about this news that I didn't hear.
I didn't say anything about news. I need a story from you because I've been waiting to hear this. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Pretty Basic. We are loving life
and each other.
If you've made it to the very, 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 very end of this video, you guys should comment that you should comment a red chili pepper emoji because these were burning questions.
Love that. Love you guys.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Mwah.